Hi there, good morning. For me it's morning. Welcome to my channel, Marley Design. My name is Marlies and today, I'm going to talk about, what is in front of me. First, I want to tell you that the weather here in the Netherlands have been very, very nice, very lovely. It is sunny. The warmth on my body, I really enjoy it. It is relaxing. And then the other side of that is that I am spending my time mostly inside because, well, my studio is inside. And that made me think, because I really wanted to enjoy the weather the last couple of days, but I also wanted to create. And that is how I came to the next thing. So last weekend I had set up a workstation in my garden where I could enjoy the sun, relax, and be creative. With this result, maybe you also read my title on my video, Mega Sheet. Well, these are all smaller sheets, but I started out with an extra large mega sheet of paper, which really works nicely, and that is because you have a large area that you are going to attack with all kinds of mediums, so it's a mixed media piece, and then in the end, like an hour or an hour and a half later, you will have so many papers in different kind of colors and styles and stains and everything, that you can expand your paper stash in a very small amount of time. Because I was filming outside, I was just only filming without any noises, background noises, but not like my voice and explaining everything. So I will give you the footage with a voiceover where I explain what I did and what I have used when we are talking about supplies. For me, it was a very fun and relaxing couple of hours, so I hope you can also sit back and relax and enjoy my video like I did with the creating process of it. Let's start! I started out with creating a workstation. So this is my garden table. On top is an old cloth, and on top of that there is a large sheet of craft paper. I also brought out a box with all kinds of supplies, a little standard for my phone for filming, some other supplies on my table, mostly household items, and I have a bucket of water for my stencils and brushes. Let's start with our first layer. I have my Tim Holtz brayer and some white acrylic paint. I will brayer the paint on top of my paper, mostly in horizontal and vertical movements. On top of my half-wet paint, I will spray some Distress Spray Stain brushed corduroy. I am going back in with my brayer again and some black acrylic paint, and I'm still making the same movements, horizontal and vertical. My next product of choice is some Liquitex ink, acrylic ink. I will let some of the ink drip on top of the paper. I will get out a wet brush and move it around in just a random way. To activate the ink a little bit more, I'm going back into my water bucket and pick up some water on my brush, and I will put it on the wet ink. You can repeat this process with as many colors as you desire. And keep in mind, I am just filming just a small piece of this large paper, but I'm going to add this color and every other technique that I am using throughout the whole paper. The next product that I will use are some Distress Oxide sprays and Distress Spray Stain. And I'm just spraying around just the way how I feel like it would fit. Then I also decided to film from another angle just to show you how large this piece of paper is. And yeah, I am just sprinkling down some acrylic paint, in this case like a soft yellow, a mustard yellow, and I'm brayering it out with my Tim Holtz brayer. And I so love this process because there is no step-by-step thing that you need to do. You can do whatever you want. You can brayer it on there. You can splatter it on there. You can use water to dilute it. Yeah, it's just playing around. It is definitely a way to get loose from your perfectionism. I am also doing some mark making. This is just a regular coffee cup, cardboard coffee cup, and I'm pushing it into some black acrylic paint and I'm pressing it onto the paper to create some circles. A wooden popsicle stick is my next item that I will use. I will push the stick into some white acrylic paint and then yeah, press it onto my paper and also do some mark making. With a leftover piece of cardboard and some white acrylic paint, I will make some staining on top of my paper. I will pick up some of the paint with the cardboard and then press it onto my paper. In my next step, I will use this leftover piece of packaging. I will dab it into the black acrylic paint, and because of the packaging has raised areas in like stripes, they will leave a beautiful imprint on the paper. I got out a Tim Holtz stencil. The number is THS051, and I'm using the stencil in combination with black acrylic paint and a little sponge. I am not using the whole stencil. I will use the stencil in parts and then divide it over the whole paper. You can repeat this process with as many stencils as you like. For example, I also used this stencil and the number is THS054. I want to get back in with some mark making, so I got out these 2 wooden items and some paint. I'm starting off with this mini spool, pressing it into some paint, metallic paint, and then press it onto the paper. Now repeat this process throughout the whole sheet. With the ground espresso spray stain and this little wooden square piece, I will make my next marks. I have sprayed my ink on a sheet and then dabbed my square piece of wood into that. After that, you can make your marks on your paper. You can do the mark making randomly. I decided to do the mark making in a row in groups of like 3, 4 or 5, but yeah, you choose what you want to do yourself. One of the last steps on this project is adding this tape. It is plaster tape. I like it because you know those little holes are in there and you can tear it in the size that you want and with rough edges. And yeah, just randomly glue them or stick them down onto your paper. My last step in this process was adding some old pieces of book pages, also randomly glued them down, but yeah, unfortunately I did not cut that on camera, but you can get the idea when you look at how I did these pieces of tape. And that was the whole process on making this extra large mega sheet of mixed media paper. And because I did not cut it on camera, you know, the sticking down pieces of the old book pages, I will show you just, well, how it looks. And one other thing that I also did not put on camera is a bit of splattering. You can see it here on the top of my page, some black splatters and also some white grayish splatters. I want to point out that cutting such a large sheet of paper is or can be very difficult. So what did I do? I turned the whole sheet around, measured A4 size pieces of paper on the back, and then cut out smaller pieces of paper with a ruler and a knife. That way you exactly know what kind of size papers you will have. I also had some leftovers, you know, on the left and on the right, a little bit on the top. Do not throw those pieces away. You can always use them or alter them to your needs. These papers can be used as is, as they are right now, but this is just for getting started. It is a starting point because you can imagine when you use this as a base, for example, for a folio, an envelope, a card, or any other kind of structure, you can still alter them the way you want and add more grunginess with stencils and stamps, maybe some paste, or any other kind of embellishments. Now I would like to take a minute to show you my pieces of paper a little bit more up close. That was so cool. I mean, when you see all the different kind of colors and texture and mark making, and they are all different. Some have more black, some have more white, some have more like the craft color underneath. So yeah, this is what you can create in just a small amount of time, and you can do a whole lot with this. But I will save that for a next video. I really enjoyed spending my afternoon like this. And I hope I caught it right on camera for you so you get an idea and hopefully also some inspiration. When you do, please like, subscribe or comment down below. You can also check out my description box where I will put all my links for the supplies that I have used. In my description box you will also find links to my coffee shop, my Etsy store and all my social media platforms where you can follow me. For now, I would like to say thank you for watching, spending time on my channel. Hope to see you next time. Bye!